In fact,
Yeah.
which is really cool that I'm saying this because I had a couple of months ago, I had this, I didn't even know, dude, I don't want to even call it a lucid dream. I found myself holding my own hand, comforting myself. And it was clear as day as I'm looking at you right now, Paul. And I'm literally holding
But
my
you mean
hand
in dream?
in my dream. Yeah. Like, dude, this dream was so real and so clear. I was holding myself and myself was crying. And as soon as I realized, holy shit, I'm dreaming, I was like, oh no, I gotta get the hell out of there. So I'm looking at myself and I see a wall and I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. I go right through this wall, outside of this wall.
In this session, I sat down with Johnadeen, where he vulnerably shared his journey of awakening, his journey into self-compassion, his journey with his traumas, his journey of letting go, out-of-body experiences, lucid dreams, astral realms, psychedelics, the works. So I hope you enjoy. Maybe make yourself a drink or something to eat, sit down and enjoy it. I won't ask you to subscribe and like because I believe you will if you want to. Anyway, let's get on with it.
When did this journey start for you? And maybe, and also maybe what was the initiator or the catalyst that kind of started it for you? Because a lot of people on spiritual journeys or awakenings, there's usually some little thing that's like a catalyst that kind of sparks or starts things off. Was there something like that for you?
You know what? I think it happened before even I could process it. I think so. Ever since I was a kid, I had such a big imagination, and I've always
Uh-huh.
been pulled to reading the spiritual books, reading a lot of sci-fi, because I always felt that there was something bigger than me out there, right?
Uh,
So even when I was a teenager, I read books like Conversations with God. I used to read about Buddhism, Hinduism a bit. So I think even as a teenager, I was into spirituality and religion. But
mm-hmm,
then when
mm-hmm.
my trauma happened in my late teens, early 20s, I experienced a major trauma that even
Okay.
still today, even still today, I'm having to sort of like compartmentalize and face that trauma, right? And I think
Uh,
that was the beginning of finding my deep spiritual path after that,
uh,
witnessing such a traumatic event.
kind of like kind of asking questions. Is this real, or is this what life has to offer, kind of thing?
Yeah, asking questions about what do I go next? Because when a trauma happens to you at such a young age, you're just like, oh shoot, you know what I mean? It kind of feels like you're split between who you could have been and who you are now. So
Yeah.
your brain is like, oh, if this didn't happen, I could have been further ahead in my life. Like these things could have been like I could have been a different person, right? In fact,
Yeah.
which is really cool that I'm saying this because I had a couple of months ago, I had this I didn't even know, dude, I don't want to even call it a lucid dream. I found myself holding my own hand, comforting myself. And it was clear as day as I'm looking at you right now, Paul. And I'm literally holding
But
my
you mean
hand
in dream?
in my dream. Yeah. Like, dude, this dream was so real and so clear. I was holding myself and myself was crying. And as soon as I realized, holy shit, I'm dreaming, I was like, oh no, I gotta get the hell out of there. So I'm looking at myself and I see a wall and I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. I go right through this wall, outside of
Uh,
this wall. There's pure darkness, and I enter what looks like a garden, a beautiful garden, and there's rain falling down. And I'm looking around, there's apple orchards all over, and I see a leaf, and I'm looking at this leaf, and I'm seeing the patterns on the leaf, the little designs on the leaf, and I'm like, whoa, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. But a lot of my spiritual experiences, I think, have to deal with my trauma. And
Uh-huh.
it's almost as if I think that like my higher self or oversoul or whatever some people want to call it, my spirit is trying to get me to pay attention and be like, okay, we can't just blow off this. You got to move through this. Let's look at this. And then where I'm
So
like, you know
do you
what?
think it was trying to get your attention to like look after yourself, or hold your own hand, kind of lead yourself?
Yeah, exactly. Like it was trying to get me my attention to be like, look, you gotta actually show compassion and love to yourself. But at the time, I was like, oh shit, this is this is way too scary for me because I've never been in a dream where I'm like actually like having to confront myself, look at myself, and look at my own sorrow, right? So
Uh-huh.
that to me was a shock.
And there's no savior coming to get you. It's all you.
No, no. But I felt sort of bad because I pretty much left myself in a room to cry.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but
In this
even
lucid
that
dream.
in this lucid dream,
Huh? And
even
what were you?
that,
You were kind of watching yourself.
yeah, I was watching myself because I was like, oh shit, this guy's crying, man. Like, that's me crying. That was me literally crying, sitting on a bench, and I'm like, shit, I can't do this. I gotta leave this experience. I gotta go. This is just too much for me.
Uh-huh. Was it
But
like a younger version of you, or the same age?
it looked like the same age. It looked like the same age. Yeah. But when I looked at the guy, it looked kind of like distorted a bit, if that makes sense.
Oh.
Distorted just a bit, right? And I was like, that's still kind of weird.
But you were still
Yeah.
so sure it was you,
It
of
was
course.
it was me. It was definitely me. It was definitely me. I like it was my own hand, my own face. Everything was me. Because
Uh-huh.
when I first saw the guy, it was clear, and then it started to morph as I kept on looking at it.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
So it's like creating your reality almost, isn't it?
dude, we'll get into that. We will get into that. We will get into that. Oh my gosh. This must have been this was 2024, I believe, or
Okay, a couple of
coming
years
up
ago.
to early 2025 or 2024. So I was super depressed, right? And my partner Ryan, he's all like, you know what? I know what works is mushrooms, right? Because I do a little dabble in a little psilocybin, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the time I
Mm-hmm.
was like, okay, I've done 3 grams, I've done 4 grams, done 5 grams. And so I got the bag of mushrooms from the mushroom shop. And I said, I'm going to do 8 grams of golden teachers. Eight
That's a lot, isn't
grams
it? I'm
of
not
gold.
sure
That's a
about the
lot. Dude,
quantity, but that's a lot.
that's a lot. That's a lot. That's like, even past 5 grams, people say that's a mega dose. 8 grams is a lot, man. So I'm,
Wow.
s-
Is this
I'm not,
because you felt a bit depressed, that you thought you'd take more to help you more?
yeah. So like I said, I'm constantly trying to compartmentalize trauma in my mind, right? So I thought to myself, maybe that if I did the 8 grams and I did the marijuana, because I also mixed the 8 grams of magic mushrooms with a little bit of marijuana. So I said to myself, you know what, maybe that will help. Maybe I'll get some insights or something out of this, if anything. So, which I don't want anybody to start doing, man, because that's a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like you
that.
don't need to do, you don't need to do that, man. Even just like one or two, like that's way too much. So
Uh-huh.
I decided to take this 8 grams of golden teacher magic mushrooms, smoke my weed. I remember I just got I think it was 2 packs of weed or maybe a pack of weed, a couple of pre-rolled joints, right?
Uh-huh.
So I started smoking. I eat all the mushrooms. And Ryan and I, my partner Ryan and I, we're watching TV and just in my bedroom down here. We're watching TV. And all of a sudden, I hear this song. It's building up. It's building up. I'm hearing this song that says, Hallelujah, 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 Hallelujah. Thoughts create reality. Thoughts create reality. Thoughts create reality. And I'm seeing this
Ooh.
choir. this beautiful choir, and I'm seeing them singing, thoughts create reality. And I'm seeing my life, all the times where people were telling me, you know, you really should focus. You know what I mean? Like, you really should focus. I even saw the book I was reading when I was a teenager, Conversations with God. And
Uh-huh.
I saw Jesus on a cross. I saw these visions of these little moments in my life. And I kept on hearing, thoughts create reality. Thoughts create reality. And this wave of love. Dude, if you could have felt this thing, it was as if somebody was trying to say, finally, he gets it. Finally, he now understands.
You're
Because
listening.
he's listening now. He's listening now. Because I now had an idea that if my thoughts were creating my reality, if I change my emotions and my thoughts, I literally change my life, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't have to be beholden to trauma anymore. I don't have to be stuck in a state of shame, guilt, panic, and anxiety. And I think whoever orchestrated this event, because I know in my heart this was orchestrated. It was as if it was a pivotal point in my life that I needed to get to make a
Uh,
change.
so it wasn't an accident at all.
No, I do not believe it was an accident, because from what I saw in those visions, it's like everything led me to this point. It's almost as if like there's certain events in life that are almost planned. As weird
Hmm.
as that sounds, almost as if it's planned.
Yeah, a lot of people talk about, like in awakening type journeys, a lot of people talk about having synchronicities or having so many events lining up perfectly. And it's about recognizing patterns, and just basically more awareness rather than things just being an accident.
Yeah. Yeah, I honestly don't. I think that like this is my theory. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that like the soul has events planned. It's almost like as if I'm a writer. I love writing, and that's my calling, right? I even love reading as well too. I have a theory that the Oversoul is kind of like a writer. You know what I mean? He writes certain events for the characters in the story, for them
Uh,
to for the story to exist. The characters can go and create anything they want, any sort of reality what they want with their thoughts and emotions and their actions. But
mhm.
those events that the writer has pre-planned, the character has to meet those events. And I think some of my traumas, as terrible as they are, and I fucking hate to say this, I really do hate to say this, I think that some of it was pre-planned events, because the way
Mhm.
I saw my life like that, I think
Mhm.
even my traumas were pre-planned events. And I said, and that's a hard
That's
thing
a
to reconcile.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a hard thing to accept and
Yeah.
not want to throw it away.
Yeah. That's a hard thing to
Wow.
accept and reconcile.
Yeah, for sure. So do you think the oversoul or whatever we refer to like the oversoul, do you think that it is, like you say, setting these planned events out in our life, and often our life can be sort of categorized into going well or not going well. It's kind of like in alignment or out of alignment. And you think maybe when we're out of alignment or we're not going with what the soul is wanting, then life is very difficult and the doors don't open for us. Something like that?
Yeah. You know what I think it is kind of like? This is gonna sound crazy, but I'm just gonna put it out there. So
Uh-huh.
during that trip that I had, my 8 gram trip, I didn't tell you that the music changed. Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
the
Okay.
music
This is
changed.
music in the trip. This was not music playing in the room or something.
No, not music in the room. It was music in the trip.
Uh-huh.
And
Okay.
the music changes, and the song goes, I am God, and there is no other. No other. And what I saw was a man dreaming, and he was all the beings in this dream. And he just chooses a point to reference. So when he hurts
Uh-huh.
himself, when he hurts others, he hurts himself. When he loves others, he loves himself. And he just thinks that there are other characters, but there's no other characters. All of it is being played by him. The characters are what we would call the ego. but they're just him,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. It's
So
kind of like the mirroring effect or the mirroring universe. It's all us creating our
yeah,
reality, creating all of our experience.
it's all us. So I when I think about this life plan, or what some people call a soul contract, I think it does exist, but I think that at the end of the day, we are God. Our thoughts and our emotions are creating our reality. And that is the true awakening, is recognizing that your emotions and thoughts aren't just something that are private to your head. They are literally shaping the structure of your life. And I have a theory that not just good people know about this. I have a theory that other people with nefarious reasons also know about this as well too. Because you see it in advertising, you see it in marketing, you see it in spiritual in spiritual beliefs. You see it everywhere. If you can get people to believe a certain way, you shape the confines of their reality. You shape their limits. Now,
Mm-hmm.
if I was a rich person, honestly, and if I was a rich person and I had like nefarious ideas, I would just buy media studios. I'd buy a bunch of media studios, and I would push my own agenda on those studios because
Uh-huh.
because if you can believe that your thoughts and emotions create the perception of reality,
Uh-huh.
then it's easier to manipulate and control others.
Yeah, well,
Because you then,
there's a lot of research, like what you were saying, touches on probably a lot of the deep truths of many religions, isn't it? That you
yeah,
are the God within you, and then also you were just touching there. It reminds me of there's like a resurgence of things like telepathy and telekinesis and moving objects with the mind, and all of that is really limited by the beliefs. When people get past their limiting beliefs, all kinds of possibilities open, don't they?
exactly. And it's, but the funny thing is though,
Which is probably not easy, of course, but
it's
that's the
not
limiting
easy.
factor.
It's not easy. And those limiting beliefs, even I did some meditation today and yesterday as well too. It's those limiting beliefs that are in fact controlling our lives. They control our
Mm,
lives. They dictate our actions, right? And they
mm,
also dictate how we feel. But every day we are bombarded with what to believe. It's so weird every day. And the more you see this, the more you just want to stay in silence and get back to your true source energy. Because everything nowadays is just pushing an agenda and trying to mold your mind to believe a certain way.
mm-hmm,
And it
mm-hmm.
never used to
Yeah.
be,
So
life never used to be like that. Oh, go ahead.
yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's just the attention of eyes, isn't it, on the media,
Yeah,
or the fact that we're so scattered and distracted by so many different things, and so used to that everyone is outside of themselves and not inside themselves, typically. So it's very sort of discreetly disempowering, I find, that people become very disempowered over time and kind of can't figure out what's going on or what the problem is. And for me, I kind of realized that a few years ago when I stopped watching mainstream news. I just realized every time I was watching it, I just feel so horrible, and I just had to stop watching it.
and it makes you feel powerless, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
Yeah, yeah,
Where I'm from in New Zealand, they used to put on the news a positive, happy story because it became very well known that the news is so negative. And for me, that was like, okay, great to have a positive news story, but it doesn't change the fact that 99% of it is negative and horrible. And so it's very biased, even more so in the digital world because it's all about clickbait titles trying to get people's attention.
yeah. No, but and this makes sense. And I'm going to continue with the same thing on thought, how I know now that thoughts create reality. So
Okay.
months ago, this happened months ago. I've been trying to do this like out of body experience, and because I've had an out of body experience before. My first
Hmm.
one was accidental. I went to bed. I laid down.
Accidental.
Yeah, accidental. Really, because I wasn't trying to have an out of body experience. I was just trying to go to sleep, which was kind of funny,
You're trying
bro.
to go
So
in your body and you went out.
yeah, I went out. So, dude, I went to sleep in my bedroom right down there. And the crazy thing is, though, I found myself in my hallway. And I'm like, wait a minute. I remember going to sleep. I remember going to sleep. I remember that I hit the hay. How am I in my hallway? And then I was like, oh shit,
Wow.
no, no, no. I was like, no, 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 no. Because
So it just happened so instantaneously. You were just from one moment in your bed, the next moment in the hallway.
yeah. So from one moment, I went to sleep and I was like, okay, I'm drifting off to sleep. And then I'm in my hallway. And then I'm like, wait a minute. I know I went to bed. I remember going to bed. How am I here? And at that point, I was like, oh shit, no. Because what scares me the most is not an out of body experience. What scares me the most is actually looking at myself.
Looking back at the body.
At my body and being in bed. That's always been one of my fears for some reason. I don't know what it is. Like, I just like, I feel like one of the reason why I'm so scared of that, maybe is I've watched way too many movies or too many, I'm a big horror buff, so I probably watched too many horror movies. But I think the reason why I'm very afraid of that is it's the solidification of something which I already know. It's the solidification that something I already know, which is I'm not my body. It
And
would
so then it's
be,
changing the belief. If you turn back and see
yeah,
the body, then it's
yeah,
confirmed.
then it's confirmed. Then I can't go back. I've had experiences. For example, I've talked about,
Would you say that like consciously you would probably like to make that leap, but also subconsciously that's the fear stopping you doing it?
yeah. So I've been in the astral realm. I've been in places where I've talked to like strange beings.
Wow,
I've,
tell me all about it. Tell me all
dude,
about it.
dude. But the one thing that scares me the most is looking at my body
Wow.
because for some reason I don't know if I'm just attached to this body or I kind of believe it's maybe it's a trauma response too. Okay, but let's go to when I went to the astral.
Okay.
Okay, so every time I'm having some sort of spiritual thing, Ryan is there for some reason. So,
Uh,
and I don't know why that is, but this time Ryan, my partner Ryan was in bed with me. I decided to go to bed, and all of a sudden I'm in a room as white as my apartment, nothing in it, and I'm like, at first I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I see a door. I open this door. This East Indian girl, beautiful girl, and this tall Indian guy with this white, almost like this like white, he's got a white sort of like circular hat and this white clothing on. His pants are white, his jacket is all white, and the girl says, welcome home. And she doesn't say it with her mouth. She's saying it with her mind. And she hugs me. And I'm
Ooh.
like, holy shit, this is nice. But Paul, what was even crazier? The mental clarity. The mental clarity. Because I have, when I talked about trauma, right? I also have trauma loops that I keep going back every single
Okay.
day. Where I was, the mental clarity it was 1,000%. It was clarity to the 10th power of mental
Uh-huh.
clarity. I didn't have any of those trauma loops or anything like that. I was at peace where I was, dude. And the freedom, the actual freedom, dude. Dude, so I was in the astral, and I know now that thoughts create reality. The first thing I was like, and I saw all these like doors coming out. So I saw all these people coming out of different doors, right? The first thing I said was like, you know what? I'm an alien. I said that I was an alien just to see what would happen. As soon as I said that, my arms changed. My vision changed. And I was like, whoa, this is cool. This is cool. I leave this place. I go to what I see is like a small riverside or seaside town. I see a bunch of people there. And this woman comes over to me and she says to me, where are you going to go next? I say to her, I'm going to see God. As soon as I say that, I'm being whooshed away as something that seems as though it's like light speed, just moving past into this tunnel. And then it stops. And I'm looking at this gray black circular disc. And my first thought is that God is some sort of technology. And I'm like, what the hell is this thing? And I tried Googling it. I've tried seeing if there's anybody on Reddit or anybody's seen this disc thing before. But it was really cool, dude. It was this circular disc with weird, almost wave patterns on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Never
Yeah.
heard of anything like that before.
Dude, I've never heard of anything like that before. Anyways, I go past this, and all of a sudden, I see myself in a cabin. I see my boyfriend right next to me, and my boyfriend wakes up. He's like, "Oh, did you see that? That's so cool." That's amazing. I'm looking around and I'm like, yeah, I felt that, but this is not my reality. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I woke up in another reality and I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on? So I then go back to sleep and then I wake up here.
So you were in what, in a dream,
Multiple,
in another dream.
multiple,
So would you say that that was like out of body experience or more like lucid dreaming?
where I was, dude, where I was, I don't think it was a dream because whenever I'm lucid dreaming, I'm always currently aware of thought forms coming in, right? My own traumas and thought forms, negative. So what happens is those negative thoughts that I have, that I constantly loop, they become physical things in the astral or what they call lucid dream. They actually become physical, solid things. So where I was with the man and the woman, pure clarity, pure love, pure silence of thought, pure knowing and understanding. I just had an understanding that I was always going to be okay. There was nothing to fear. Like, dude, it was so much freedom and peace where I was with this man and woman. Like, I was free. Paul, I was free. And I mean freedom finally from my own limits, from my own trauma, from my own darkness. I was
Wow.
free. Yeah, man.
And so that has to be another dimension or another
Dude,
reality
dude,
or something.
dude, I think there's multiple realities, man. I think this is just one of these realities. And I've talked to people like the alchemist who I can get you in contact with. He's a good friend of mine.
Uh-huh.
I interviewed him.
Uh-huh.
We talked about it and he was like, "Bro, yeah, you were on the other side." And I was like, "That makes sense, man. That makes sense because I had a lucid dream. So I had a lucid dream that I was in my mother's house. I was with this girl and she was telling me, "Oh, you know what? You should go to sleep." And I was like, "You know what? Maybe I should go to sleep." This is in my childhood bedroom. I go to sleep and I'm like, "Wait a minute." I close my eyes. I'm like, "Wait a minute. I'm not tired." Open my eyes and I'm like, "Oh shit, this is a dream." First thing I think, this is a dream. And the second thing I think is, shit, thought forms. As soon as I said thought forms, almost like the Walking Dead zombies came alive and were hunting me. Yeah,
And like
man.
so like the physical forms of the traumas that you're referring to.
Physical forms of the trauma. Because people think when they die or when they get out of their bodies or their astrals, that what they haven't dealt with here, it doesn't stop. You take yourself with you, right?
Uh-huh.
If you haven't done the inner work to heal yourself or accept yourself, the work doesn't stop when you die or in the astral or out of body. Like you're still you.
Yeah, well, a lot of these
Yeah.
things they come and go with the soul, I would say, not so
Yeah.
much the persona that's in the body.
Yeah. Yeah. But I get the feeling that when you're completely cut off, when you completely die, there's a deeper level of understanding and clarity where because where I was with the man and the woman in that astral realm, my level of clarity was I didn't have to worry about thought forms. Like that was never a thing with where I was. I was just at peace with them, right?
Wow. So just chilling out at peace.
Just at peace, just at peace. And I just felt like I could do anything and everything. And there was
So
freedom.
was this the one that happened by accident still?
No, oh shoot,
Or was
no,
this
no, that wasn't the one that happened by accident. That wasn't my not my out of body experience that happened no accident. That was the out of body experience where I had smoked a bit of weed that night and
okay.
I went to sleep.
Right. Okay, okay. So this was like an intentional out of
Yeah,
body experience.
this was an intentional out of body experience.
Okay, okay. And how long would you say it lasted? Like, because a lot of people talk about like if they get to the other
Um,
side, times is not real or an illusion, and you can feel like you're there for an infinity, but back here it can be completely different.
in the astral, man, time is nothing. Time, like, dude, once you experience the other side, time is nothing. It feels like 1 hour could feel like 100 days. 100 days could feel like a millennia. It's like nothing. But
So it's
you
like
always,
irrelevant to whatever's happening.
it's irrelevant to what's ever happening, but you always feel like it's the present moment. It's almost as if like, how do I put this? We experience past and future here, right? Everything where
Hmm.
I was felt like the present moment. Like it's almost as if the past and the present, everything and the past and the future were all happening in the present moment. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a little bit along the lines of what spirituality or meditation teachings are here, where it's like be in the moment, you know? Don't be
Yeah.
anxiously jumping to the future or worrying about what happened in the past. Just like be in the moment. But for us here, it's often such an effort to be in the moment, isn't it? But it sounds like there was like by nature, you're in the moment.
You're in the moment. And you know what the funny thing is though? That's where all the mental clarity is. That's actually where all the mental clarity was in the moment. Because dude, where I was when I was talking to the man and the woman, when I got out of that white room, dude, I was literally in the moment. So the mental clarity comes from actually living and being in the present moment. That's where your
Hmm.
full mental clarity is. And I never realized that until like I had to do meditation again and keep myself reminding myself about that. But yeah, like dude, like where I was, man, I hope everybody can go one day. And I think everybody does go one day. Because where I was, it was just peace. It was just peace. Peace and freedom at last. And I think that like I don't think this was an accident at all either to be in the other side as well too. I as though it's going to sound weird, but I almost feel as though something is observing me or guiding me without me realizing it.
To go there or when you are there, you mean?
No, when to go there, to have these spiritual experiences, I don't think these are coincidences. I almost feel as though these things were meant to happen for me,
Hmm.
almost
Hmm.
like a realization for me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I understand that because I feel like I have a pull towards all of these esoteric type things and these out of body experiences. I haven't yet experienced anything significant, but I'm also I think one of my blocks is a kind of a worry or a belief that I'm trying to get out in avoidance of problems in the real world, you know? So
Yeah,
I think I don't want to be using it as like an escape from this reality because we're here for a purpose and reason here, you know? But of
yeah,
course, I do want to experience that as well. So that's my issue.
yeah. And I think that like, just as long as you know that you also take yourself with you when you leave outside the body, right? Like,
Uh,
for example, when I
so
left
you're not
outside of,
leaving things behind.
you're not leaving things behind. The more you clear your thoughts, the more you clear your mind, the more you integrate your fears, the better it will be to have an out of body experience, because you won't have any negative thought forms that show up, because when they show up like physical things. Like
Hmm.
where I'm talking about the astral and I'm talking about other realities, these things felt physical. Like they feel physical. And the crazy thing about that, that's why I think that like who we are is just a small piece of us, if that makes sense.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. For
Yeah. And
example,
would you say
go
that
ahead.
the physical you're talking about, like over there or on the other side, is it does it feel more real than this physical? Would you say?
The colors. The colors is what got me, bro. The colors.
Uh,
I was one talking to that man and the woman. Remember, I was in that weird room, dude. The colors were crazy, bro. It was crisp, bright colors that you haven't seen before in your life. I was like, well, what the fuck is this? Coming back here, dude. It was like we had 8K, 8 resolution. It was like 1,000 times resolution, dude. The colors are
wow.
crisp. It's like somebody removing a filter out of your eyes,
Wow. And
dude.
it's a bit like people talk about gaining information there as well, but also not able to bring it back like into the physical body, like here, because it's too much data or something.
Yeah, I've never experienced anything like that. The only thing I've ever done was channel information, which,
Okay. How was that? How was that done?
so that was done with meditation. So I do this letting go meditation where I focus on my breath and I just say, I let go. And I keep doing that. And I kept doing that. So one time I kept doing that I let go meditation and I'm hearing, you are one of us. You are one of us. We love you. You are one of us. And I'm like, who the hell's saying this, bro? What the fuck is going on? And I see what looks like an alien being, if that makes sense. And they're
Okay.
chanting, you are one of us. And I was like, I don't know what that means, but I asked my buddy, the alchemist. He was one of the students of Darius J. Wright. I asked
Mm-hmm.
him, and he was talking about how different souls have families and there are beings from different planes of existence or dimensions that pop in and pop out of here, which I was like,
Uh-huh.
that's very interesting. Yeah. So my new belief is that this is just like this body is just a template. What we call ETs is just another template for consciousness. Consciousness can look like anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people that talk about ETs things say that it's kind of like an evolved level of consciousness of ourselves, kind of thing, or humans.
Yeah. Yeah. I really don't think that for me now, I don't really think ETs are special. And I think that consciousness itself can be housed in any form, right? And we can say that we can try to say that this consciousness is special than this one, but it's all the one form, the one being, which is I am. Because in reality, when you actually, oh, go ahead.
There was something I heard you talk about also, the I am. How did you come to that?
Yo, dude, this was from meditation, man. This was from meditation.
Just from
So I'm
meditation.
meditating, I'm meditating, and I'm asking myself, who am I? And I hear a voice, I am. And I'm like, who the hell is this? And then the voice says, I am again. And I start having this conversation with this thing called I am. And I say, is this my higher self? And they said, I am. And yes, I am your higher self. And then I'm thinking to myself, like, what about, I even asked this being, I am, what about other people? It says, there are no others. And I was like, just like my trip, my mushroom, my 8-gram trip. And the I am said, there are no others. I am God and there is no other. And I was like, no, there's got to be others. Dude, I'm meditating and I'm fighting this awareness. And I'm like, no, there's got to be others, man. Like, I know there are other people here, bro. I do know. And it says, there is, in the most peaceful way, there is no others. I am is everything. Consciousness is everything. Consciousness can present the illusion, even in what I deem the other side or the astral, whatever plane of existence. It can come up with an illusion that there are other beings, but honestly, there is no others. It's just playing a
Uh-huh.
game with itself. It's playing a game with itself.
That sounds like channeled information. Asking the question and getting the answer.
Yeah, yeah. And at first, I was like, "Am I channeling you?" And the I am said, "Yes, you are." And I was like, "Oh shit, dude, this is wild, man."
So were you able to recreate that, or was it just a one-off?
No, it's not just a one-off, man. Whenever I'm in silence, so I have to be in a silent area or a silent space and connect with myself, and then I hear this thing speak.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. And so how is like your meditation practice? Have you been doing it your whole life, or did you just
Yeah.
get serious into it, or
No, I've been meditating on and off my whole life,
okay.
right? So I've been trying to meditate. I meditated more now because of my OCD, my trauma OCD. So I've been trying to use meditation as a way to, it's sort of like a therapy to let my body and mind sort of let go and start healing a little bit more.
Mhm.
But I've noticed meditation does help, but I'm going to try to see if I can find new avenues to also help me out as well too.
Yeah, so I was just going to ask, are you like what's your plan going forward? Are you going to be trying to do out of body? Are you going to be just meditating? You've had a lot of a
Yeah.
big range of experiences. Are you going to focus on something in particular, or like we were saying earlier, just trust that the universe has it lined up for you?
Well, right now I'm trying to focus a little bit more on learning how to manifest more effectively, right?
Okay.
Because now I do have the information that like aligning my thoughts, changing my negative beliefs. I'm trying to learn how to manifest effectively. I think that's one of the biggest things. And I'm going to go on another maybe not a psilocybin journey, another an LSD trip. I think this is going to be
Hmm.
my first LSD trip actually. So I'm getting prepared for that as well too, and I'm getting myself into sort of the zone of what will happen and my intention into that trip because I really want to, what I really want to do for my personal life is to get to a place where I come to accept my past, accept what's happened, and move on forward. Because I think what my I am has been trying to tell me, the God within me has been trying to tell me, is that it's time to let go. And I don't know how that's going to happen because I feel like though the reason why I'm holding to onto my trauma, and my I am told me this as well too. He said the reason why I'm holding on to my trauma is because I made it an identity, right?
Uh-huh.
What
Yeah, and
happens?
it's normal for you,
Yeah, what happens
for
when
all of
there's
us.
no more? Yeah, it's like I've made it such an identity. I don't know how to let it go. And my I am is still trying to tell me, bro, it's time to let go. I've shown you, I've given you the message that your thoughts create reality. I put you right, right in touch in a room so that you can confront yourself, so you can get this figured out. I've shown you the other side. Like you gotta take the steps and effort to let this thing go. So I think
Yeah, yeah. It
that's,
kind of sounds like stepping into the bravery or
yeah,
like letting go or overcoming some of the fears to, like you say, it's almost like create a new identity for yourself.
yeah. I'm just afraid that it's like when you have something there for such a long time, right? Like you know, a lot of addicts have probably have the same feeling. It's like when you've done a certain drug or a certain thing for so long, it's like it's become so part of you. It's like, who are you without that thing? So now I have
Mm.
to figure out a way of letting my trauma go and being okay with saying, you know what, I'm gonna be a new person, and that's gonna be okay. Change is good.
Yeah, 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 definitely. Definitely. It's just not, it's easier said than done though, isn't it?
It's easier.
Typically. We have
Yeah. So much easier
very
said than
easy in
done.
a therapy session to be told, just need to let it go. But we hold on so tight, we don't even know how we're holding on so tight. So it takes a lot
Yeah,
of effort to let go.
I feel like that's the key to manifestation right there. Is I was watching. I will get you in touch with the Alchemist. He's a great dude. He's such a good
Yeah,
guy.
I know who you're talking about. I have reached out to him.
Andre,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
dude, you know Andre.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
dude, such a
I think he's
sweetheart.
gonna come on. He's gonna come on as well. So it'll
Dude,
be
tell him I
great.
said hi, man. Such a sweetheart, bro. Such a great guy.
Cool.
Oh, but you were saying. Sorry, I don't think I answered the question.
Oh, what was I saying? Oh, you touched back on the manifestation.
Yeah, manifestation. So now that I'm aware that my thoughts and emotions create my reality or my experience of reality, right? I
Hmm.
now have to then reconcile that I need to change my identity because who I
Hmm.
believe I am inside dictates my thoughts and my emotions. If I say to myself that I'm a victim of a traumatic experience, right? And I think that way and I feel that way and I feel that guilt, I feel that shame, then my identity hasn't changed. I'm holding on to that identity. So I'm going to try to change my identity. And in the process of me saying, I'm going to adopt a new belief system, my thoughts also change. And then my emotions change over time as well, too.
And
So
then the actions change as well to
the
match it.
actions change as well. So I
Yeah.
think that like true manifestation is recognizing that that an identity needs to change.
Yeah, because I think we're manifesting all the time. We're just
Yeah.
often unconscious about what we're doing. So it's about making it conscious, kind of. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely believe that. I definitely believe that. But now that I know that my thoughts create reality, man, it's time for me to break through those limiting beliefs. I'm actually gonna head back to the gym again. I'm gonna start like taking charge of my life again.
Wow, that sounds exciting.
Yeah, dude, it's scary. You know, making a change is scary, but that's what I needed.
Yeah, because change is scary. So, but yeah, we all need it, and we all need to be better at making the change.
Yeah.
Definitely. Oh, well, thank you very much. This has been a great chat. I think people would have got a lot of information out of it. I've really enjoyed getting to know you. So thank you very much for sharing. A lot of it was quite vulnerable, I can imagine and feel. So thank
Well,
you.
it was my pleasure.
I hope you enjoyed that. I really enjoyed speaking with Johnadeen and really appreciated his vulnerability. Let me know in the comments if anything in that resonates with you, or if you've had similar experiences. I really enjoy hearing about and reading about those types of experiences. And thanks for watching.